大家好，欢迎你回到 CHI 114的频道，我是高老师。今天我们要开始学第6课对话2。第6课说什么？约时间，约时间。Hey everybody, this is Gao 老师 and welcome back to CHI 114 pre-class videos. In this video, we'll focus on the first part of Lesson 6, Dialogue 2. Before the next class session, if you follow along with this video and do what it asks you to do, you will be able to accomplish the following learning goals. Number 1, you'll be able to read, understand, and pronounce using correct tones all of the assigned vocab words from Lesson 6, Dialogue 2. Number 2, you'll be able to read and fully comprehend on your own the textbook dialogue. And number 3, you'll have a basic understanding of the dialogue's main grammar points. And there's one that we'll focus on here in this pre-class video. 准备好了吗？好的，我们开始吧。好，我们复习一下。复习一下。Let's review briefly. Please take a moment or two to translate the following sentences using the grammar points we covered in Lesson 6, Dialogue 1. Number 1. 中文怎么说? Don't call your friend. 我们可以说别给朋友打电话，别给朋友打电话。So this 别 means don't. 第二 Number 2. 第二中文怎么说? Yesterday, my mom called me. 我们可以说昨天妈妈给我打电话了。昨天妈妈给我打电话了。Why is there a "了" at the end of the sentence here? Hopefully you remember from Lesson 5 that we put the "了" at the end of the sentence here to indicate that the action is completed. The action of calling, or your mom calling you, is completed. 第三 Number 3. 第三中文怎么说? If it's convenient, do you want to go watch a movie? 要是你方便，你想看电影吗? So the 要是, this if statement, either goes before the subject or directly after the subject, and it creates this conditional sentence. Let's begin preparing for the next class where we always do, by first listening to the audio of our new vocab words. As you hear the speaker pronounce these words, please try your best to mimic their pronunciation out loud. To follow along in your textbook, just turn to page 164.
1.
下个
Next one.
下
Below. Next. 2.
中文
Chinese language.
文
Language. Script. Written language. 3.
帮
To help. 4.
准备
To prepare. 5.
练习
To practice. 6.
说
To say. To speak.
Please go back now and listen to this audio at least 2 to 3 more times, repeating out loud what you hear. Let's move on now and listen to the textbook audio for the dialogue.
喂 请问王鹏在吗？
我就是。你是李友吧？
王鹏，我下个星期要考中文，你帮我准备一下，跟我练习说中文好吗？
The section of the dialogue assigned to you for the next class session is relatively short, so please do go back and listen to this at least 3 to 4 times, making sure you can fully understand what both speakers are saying. If you would like to find these audio files on your own, all you need to do is log into Canvas and click on the Files tab on the left-hand side of your screen here, which will take you to these two folders, Textbook Audio and Workbook Audio. To listen to the audio from the textbook, all you need to do is click on the folder labeled Textbook Audio. By the way, if you're wanting to complete your workbook homework and you want to do the listening portion of it, you would click on the file labeled Workbook Audio. To start practicing learning our new vocab words from Lesson 6, Dialogue 2 using Quizlet, just scan the QR code on your screen or click on the link below in the description section of this video. So now that you've listened to the audio of the vocab words, to the audio of the dialogue, let's look at the grammar point that we'll be focusing on for the next class session, and that is time expressions. This is how it appears in the text. Leo says, 王鹏，我下个星期要考中文. So it's this part in blue here, 下个星期, which is a time expression, meaning next week. So it's important to bear in mind here that with time expressions that 月 meaning month and 星期 meaning week are nouns, which means that when you're talking about these, a number of months or a number of weeks, both 月 and 星期 should be used with a measure word. So if we were to say 1 month, we would say 一个月. If we were to say 2 weeks, we would say 两个星期. So when talking about last, next, this month, or week, 个 can be omitted in front of week, 星期, but not in front of month. So it's correct to say 上星期 or 下星期, and you could also say 这星期, meaning this week, but only 上个月, 下个月, and 这个月 are correct. So when in doubt, you can always just include the 个 in front of 月 for month and 星期 for week. Also, it's important to bear in mind that 年 meaning year and 天 meaning day can be used as both nouns and measure words, so they cannot be preceded by the measure word 个. To say 1 year, you would never say 一个年, you would always say 一年. 好，我们练习一下. Let's practice by first looking at weeks, 星期. So if you wanted to say the week before last, we could say 上上星期 or 上上个星期. Last week, 上星期. This week, 这星期. Next week, 下星期. The week after next, 下下星期. 好，中文怎么说? Next week, Wang Peng is busy. 中文怎么说? 我们可以说下星期王鹏很忙. So don't forget with time expressions that they either come before the subject or directly after the subject. They have to come at the beginning of the sentence. 好，中文怎么说? This Thursday, I will return home. 我们可以说这星期四我要回家. And don't forget the 要 here is indicating an action is going to happen in the future. 好, let's look at 月, month. So for month, to say the month before last, we can say 上上个月. And don't forget, the measure word 个 here is not optional, it is necessary. Last month, 上个月. This month, 这个月. Next month, 下个月. The month after next, 下下个月. 好，我们练习一下。中文怎么说? I'm going to England next month. And don't forget, time expressions go toward the beginning of the sentence. 我们可以说我下个月去英国。我下个月去英国。好，中文怎么说？ Last month, she didn't call her mother. 我们可以说她上个月 last month 没给妈妈打电话。Let's look at 天 meaning day. So to say 3 days ago, we could say 大前天. To say the day before yesterday, we could say 前天. To say yesterday, we could say 昨天. Today, 今天. Tomorrow, 明天. The day after tomorrow, 后天. 3 days from today. 大后天。好，我们练习一下。中文怎么说？ Yesterday, Wang Peng called his teacher. And don't forget, the action of calling his teacher has been completed. 我们可以说，王鹏昨天给他的老师打电话了。So we've got the le at the end of the sentence there because the action was completed. 中文怎么说？ Yesterday Wang Peng did not come to class. He also didn't come to class the day before yesterday. 我们可以说王鹏昨天 or you could put the time first. 昨天王鹏没来上课. Right? So yesterday Wang Peng did not come to class. 前天 the day before yesterday 也没来上课. And there's no need to have the subject in the second clause of the sentence because we already know who the subject is. So in Chinese it's often omitted. But again, the time phrase, the time expression comes first. 好，我们看一下年. Let's look at 年, meaning year. 3 years ago, 大前年, the year before last. 前年, last year. 去年, this one's a bit tricky. It's slightly different than the other ones. You just have to remember this. Last year, 去年. This year, 今年. Next year, 明年. The year after next, 后年. And 3 years from now, 大后年. 好，中文怎么说? Last August, I was in China. So time expressions need to come at the beginning of the sentence or after the subject. 我们可以说去年8月我在中国。好，中文怎么说？ Next year, I want to go to Beijing. 我们可以说明年我要去北京。Next year, I want to go to Beijing. So here are several errors I tend to see with these time expressions. Let's look at the first one here. Let's read it together. 2月以后我要去中国. So the speaker here is trying to say, in 2 months, I will be going to China. But don't forget, 2月有什么意思? What does that mean? 2月有什么意思? 2月 means February. So what you need to use here is a measure word, 个, especially when you're talking about months, 月. So it should be 2个月以后我要去中国. Here's another very common error. Let's read it together. 这个年我要学中文. So this year, I want to study Chinese. We say that all the time in English, this year. But in Chinese, how do you say this year? 中文怎么说？今年. So all you need to say here is 今年我要学中文. It is incorrect to say 这个年. 年 does not take a measure word.
好的，我们练习一下。Let's take a moment now to practice what we just learned. So based on the information given below, please fill in the blanks with the appropriate time expressions. And please try to complete this exercise on your own. So pause the video now. 第一，这个月是5月，上个月是4月，上上个月是3月，下个月是6月，下下个月是7月。第二，今天是星期三，昨天是星期二，前天是星期一，明天是星期四，后天是星期五。
So for additional explanations and examples of this grammar point, and don't worry, we'll spend plenty of time in class practicing it, please do see your textbook, pages 165 to 166.
For those of you interested in learning how to correctly write all of our new characters, this section will provide you with the animated stroke orders. The first new character is 下个, 下个, meaning next.
中文 中文 meaning the Chinese language. 帮 帮 meaning to help. 准备 准备 meaning to prepare. 练习练习 meaning to practice. 说说 meaning to say or to speak.
For those of you wanting more practice writing characters, and I hope that's a lot of you, because characters are one of the more fascinating aspects of the language itself. And if you want to learn more about writing characters using the correct stroke order, you should definitely check out this free app, which unfortunately, sorry Android users, it's only available for iPhone users. What I like about this app is that you can look up any character and get the definition, so it's basically a dictionary app. But in addition to that, whenever you look up a single character, as you can see on the screen here, it'll walk you through the strokes for writing that character. And then it'll actually, on the bottom half of your smartphone, it'll give you an opportunity to practice writing the character using the correct stroke order. If you were to write the character using the incorrect stroke order, it would tell you, no, you got to go back and write the character correctly using the correct stroke order. So it's a really cool app. Go try it out. And finally, once you feel comfortable with the new vocab words, characters, and grammar points from the first part of Lesson 6, Dialogue 2, don't forget to take the pre-class practice quiz in Canvas before our next class session. 好的，谢谢大家，下次见，再见。